sons right now, because if I start, the reason that so many people missed it in this last transition, it's not that we're waiting on change, we're waiting to manifest. And the reason that we're delaying the change, the manifestation, is because we don't have enough sons. And the reason is this, Apostle, because when the prophet went to be with the Lord, when Elijah went to be with the Lord, and he had a mantle, he has a son by the name of Elisha. And Elisha says, I want double portion of your spirit. Your spirit. Whatever's in you, I want it. Impart to me. You've asked a difficult thing, but if you see me when I go. He's taken up, and here's the challenge right here. When he's taken up, there's a school of prophets, but seers cannot see what God is doing. But a son can. I just said something here. Because seers couldn't see it, but a son could. And the reason is because even the seers did not understand God's methodology. Because it wasn't that he was taken up, it was the mechanism of him being taken up. Because God's ways are not man's ways, because he went in a whirlwind. And that word whirlwind literally means a violent spinning due to emotional outburst. So because a violent spinning began to occur, people don't realize that God takes out of chaos and brings cosmos. So they want the order of God, but order doesn't come in new dimensions until you come out of chaology. So there's always a radical disorientation for creative transformation. So anytime God is birthing something new, it is always going to be out of the chaos. Anytime there's a new beginning, it's from an ending of something. So out of the chaos, because God was bringing forth a new dispensation and a mantle, the womb of God, that's what mantle means. The womb of God would fall upon a son, because positionally he could see his master. If you don't keep your eyes on what God has you, if you're not connected, then you will miss what God is doing for you. So I understood. My blessing is always in my connection. Oh, I'm saying something right now. I'm trying to help them. So if you understand positions, she had a change of plans. So she had her agenda, but God had another one. So I've got my agenda. I've got what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to be without walls the rest of my life, and things are going good, etc., etc. And God says, go to New Destiny. It's in Apopka. Nobody can pronounce that. Apopka is the middle of nowhere. It's a field out, and it's the middle of nowhere. There's not even a Starbucks for what, 25 minutes? 20 minutes? I'm like, Lord, how can you put me near a place that doesn't have a Starbucks? Lord Jesus, let's renegotiate this. Until I realized I'll build a Starbucks. I'll develop one. You wait and see. You are the agent of change. And so I called Bishop Jakes, and Bishop says, go. So it was pretty easy for me. So I land up in a field in Apopka. And so I'm there. We've seen over 2,000 people join the church, move from all over, 70% of them. Our greatest influx of members are between 25 and 35, which is the age that most people are massively moving away from what they call organized religion, and they're flocking like crazy. Why? Because people are hungry for the real. They're hungry for what God is doing. They're hungry for substance. You've got the real here. Come on, you've got something good. She had to change her plans. Are you flexible enough to change your plans? Are you flexible enough to walk away from whatever it is that you think you're tied to? So when God says, go here, do this, leave that, give up this, take on this, can you do what God is telling you to do? Because if you can't change your plans, you can't move into what God has. You can't birth the big. So you can prophesy big all day long, but you have to be flexible enough that when God says shift, you can move. Look at somebody, say, I sense a shift coming in your life. I sense it. So Mary not only had to change of plans, but she had a change of thinking. She had a paradigm shift. She had to change her way of thinking. When God goes to change a nation, a community, a family, he changes an individual. He does so by putting a dream or a vision in their heart. It's a God-inspired hope placed on the inside of them, an expectation seemingly with no correlation to what's happening on the outside. Proverbs 29:18, you know very well, says where there's no vision, the people perish. So if you don't have a vision, which is a mental sight of things, a dream, a revelation, revealed, that the veil is removed from you, the oracle of God. It's from the root to gaze at. It means you have an internal photograph, that you can see something on the inside that is bigger than anything on the outside, that you're not limited by situation. That's why when Isaac was placed down in the place of lack, he said, should I go to Egypt where there's supply? And God said, no, I'm going to show you that you're not a victim to this. It's a victim to who I am. And so many people want to move from what seems like lack in their life, whether that is relationally, spiritually, financially, but God will often put you right in that situation to let you know that you're not a victim to it. It is a victim to who God is.